Good morning guys, I'm Chris and welcome back to this Sunday's episode of Rift Amps. Vibrochamp update, the 3-prong conversion is now done. I used the old hole for the death cap for the new safety earth. Rest of it is done, 820 ohm resistor in there. I've managed to find this one in my stash. That thing is old, but still tests good. And here's the final numbers. So can I bring up, yes I can, the old numbers versus the new one. So you can see with the 820 ohm resistor in, we've ended up at 12 watts, which is where we want to be. Our B plus of course has risen, current drops, voltage increases. So we are, what's that, 15 volts higher than where we were originally. B plus 1. All the way through, we're now at 99.77%. So the output valve is now happy, it's where it wants to be. Do we still get 5 watts out of this amplifier though? So as usual, 1 kilohertz, 150 millivolt sine wave being injected in the front end, into 4 ohms, bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up. Find the point where it clips, it's squaring off at the bottom. Back it back down. What does that say in the bottom corner? 4.5 volts into 4 ohms, which is this column, 4.5. We're still at 5 watts. So we haven't lost any output by cooling the bias off. All right. So that's a good thing. All nice and running. Just check the tremolo. Wob, 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 wob. And speed it up. That's just a weird camera effect. It's not tracking the same as the oscilloscope is. There we go. Right, yeah, so it's all good. All serviced, all done, all sorted. Stick it back in the cabinet, call it done. Just in the process of swapping out the 2 preamp valve sockets on the Gibson Gold Tone GA15. Going to put some Beltons in. Very nice. And I found what the actual cause of this problem was. And it's only when I'm desoldering these sockets that I found it. In the pin 1 here, high voltage supply to this socket, is actually broken away from the base. You see that? Not connected at all. So there's a gap there. Maybe show you from this angle. There you go. Not connected. This pin here, not connected to the base. So it's clearly making intermittent contact, but that is the problem. So I'm going to carry on. I hate doing these, but I'm going to swap this one out and this one out. Apparently the owner, when he got the amp originally, sent it back and had the 2 output sockets done under warranty. But they didn't do the preamp sockets. And we found our problem. So, yeah, there you go. Took me a while, but I got there. Just doing the chassis work on the final 57 Tweed build. So, remember, there were 5 of these. 4 have gone out the door now. This is the last one. I've now drilled the chassis. I'm just deburring all the holes and things. I've done the board. Board's all ready to go. Now, the chap that's bought this has... wants to get out of it. So, well, he doesn't, yes and no. He's happy to have it, but if somebody else wants it and is keen, he's happy to let it go to them instead. So, if you are interested in the last limited run 57 Tweeds, the one with the Celestion 100 silver Alnico speaker, please get in touch because we do have this one available. It is listed on the website, so if you want it, you can just go online and order that. If you're interested. Back on with the Gibson, the new sockets are done. So I've done the 2 preamp sockets, all put back together. What else have I done? Well, the customer's asked me to redo the speaker wiring. So I've added a speaker socket to the chassis from there, and then we'll put a proper plug onto the speaker. What else have I done? Oh yes, on the output valves, I've put proper spring retainers rather than that single T-bar arrangement that was there. That was just terrible. Now these things, they're not moving. Good news. Can't put any retainers on these valves, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, as you can hear, the noises are gone. And I can tap this thing away, volume on full. Noises gone. Good news. So yeah, as I showed in a previous clip, it was a broken pin on the socket itself. Crazy. Right, so next thing we've got to do is check the bias on the amplifier, or adjust the bias if required. So here are the numbers that we've got. So our anode to cathode voltage, 355 volts. Our screen voltage, 349. Voltage drop across the cathode resistor, 11.72 volts. Value of that cathode resistor, 120.8 ohms. Here it is in there. That one there. Gives us a cathode current of 97 milliamps, and bear in mind it's a shared resistor for 2 valves, so divide by 2 gives us 48.5 milliamps per valve. Times that by your anode to cathode voltage means they're running at 17.22 watts, and that's anode plus screen. If we ignore the screen just to bias them a little safer, puts them at 143.5%. Far too hot. Far too hot. No wonder they're discoloured. Right? So we've been through this 100 times before. We need to increase the size of this resistor. Next value up is 150 ohms and then 180 ohms. I'm tempted to go all the way up to 180 first, because I want this to be much lower. I think 150 is going to put us around 115, 116% probably. We could work it out, but I spent far too much time on this amp already. We need to get going, so let's just stick 180 ohm in there, retake the measurements, and then see where we are. Well, I stand corrected. It didn't come down as far as I thought it would. 180 ohm resistor and put us at 113%. So we've come down quite a long way in 2 steps, but still not quite far enough. However, I've got a loop running through at the moment, but on the sine wave, we're starting to get a little bit of crossover distortion. So I am tempted to leave it where it is, because it does sound good at this point. And bear in mind that number does include the screen dissipation, so it's probably closer to 100% than the numbers show. So I'm going to leave this running for a couple of hours now. Does sound good. Sounds really good. Sorry this isn't good audio, but I'm... yeah, happy with that. Good job. Stick it back in the cabinet. I need to make up a speaker cable for the speaker that's in the cabinet itself. I need to give the cabinet a good clean. There it is. And then we can call this one complete. Quick update for you. The little Fender Bronco amp, the one that I put a new pot in, running on the test bench was absolutely fine, and then it's dropped all output. So I need to get back onto that to find out what the problem is. The V4B, I've ordered a full capacitor set from a place in the States called Flip Tops that seem to stock all the correct bits that are really hard to source. So that's coming. So ordered them about a week ago. They're still in the States. It's making its way through the system. So they might not be here for another couple of weeks, I would have thought. But that's what that's waiting on. The super clean Pro Reverb, the ultra linear one, as you can see, I've done the cap job on it. And I need to get back onto it to investigate the source of the weird distortion on the trail of notes on the second channel. So that's waiting to go back on the test bench. The Ed's RK50 build, pretty much done now. I still haven't got the switchable boost working, so I'm still working on that. But I do have a Cornford RK100 actually coming in for repair next week. So I'll be able to compare and make some comparisons to those two circuits and see if it's either my mistake or whether it's the online schematic that was drawn wrong or whatever it is. So that's that. So yes, but speaking of Cornfords, here's another one. This one is a Roadhouse 50 in beautiful, I guess it's all subjective, snakeskin Tolex. Very cool. Master, loop on the front, that's a good idea. Treble, middle, bass, boost, gain, and your input. Okay, this one has come in, customer complaint is extremely low output. So obviously 50 watts should be extremely loud, right? And he says it's not doing anywhere near that. So we need to get this thing on the test bench, do an output power measurement, see if we can work out what's going on. But of course, before I do anything, I need to do a full visual inspection. So let's get this thing apart, see if we can get our eyes on anything obvious. Okay, so as always, a huge, monstrous transformer here, mains transformer, Demeter windings or Demeter windings, August 2011. Curiously, we've got a Mercury Magnetics choke. I wonder if that's a replacement, because I don't remember. Actually, I lie. I can't remember, or I don't know whether they came with these as standard. I just don't know. And another Demeter or Demeter windings output transformer, also dated August 2011. Apart from that, what have we got on back? Got loads of speaker sockets, 4, 4, 8, 8, and a single 16. Very cool. A pair of KT77s. Might be the first pair of KT77s we've had on the channel. What are they, gold lions? Yeah. Okay, let me spin this thing upside down. See if there's anything obvious. Here we go then. So it must be a later design, PCB design, obviously. I don't know if he did a tag strip version. So excuse me if some of you know more about these than I do. It's the first one of these I've had in. Date sticker is, sorry I'm reading it upside down, 28th of September 2011. Okay. So, oh look, there's a 30 watt and a 50 watt. So maybe they did a 30 watt version as well. Very cool. All right, initial check over and inspection. Looks like these are being replaced before. Why have they parallel 2? 1, 2, 3, pin 4. That's a screen. That's your screen resistors. What's the value over here? Probably a 1K, isn't it? Yeah, it's a 1K there. So they've put two 2K2s in parallel for 1K. Why don't you just use a 1K? Bizarre. Right. Anything else I can see? There's a resistor down here that looks a bit weirdly placed, but we don't know if that's the issue. But from first inspection, I cannot see anything burnt or popped or out of place other than those two resistors there. So, okay, I'm happy to fire this up on the bench. Obviously, light bulb limiter first, and then we'll take a power measurement. Okay, usual setup then. I'm driving 8 ohms. 8 ohms. 1 kilohertz, 150 millivolt sine wave into the amplifier. Master volume on full, all the way around. It's got a treble, middle, bass tone stack, so mid on full, bass and treble on 0. Boost is off, just advanced control. And we're getting output, and let me zoom you in so you can see. See, it's clipping at the top there. We back it back down just to where it's not. 18.8 volts. Call that 19 volts into 8 ohms. Puts us at 45 watts. It's not really down on power, is it? not really down on power. Sorry, back on the sine wave. You can see we've got some crossover distortion on the upward and downward slope. So these output valves are biased quite cold. So that's 19.5 there, which is 47.5. Bias adjust down here. Let me just tweak the bias. That's cold. Zoom you in a bit more. Okay. Reduce the output again. So there we go. That's looking nice. So let's just do it again. Soften it a smidge. There we go. So it didn't need much. 20 volts output. 19.6. Come on, it's very sensitive. 20 volts. That's what 20 volts. And 20 volts into 8 ohms. It's 50 watts. So I don't know. Don't know why I said it's down on power, because it's certainly doing it on the bench. Okay, so now this is a classic example where the easy mistake to make would be to say no fault found, stick it back in the cabinet, send it back to the customer. And what will happen is the customer will get the thing back and go, oh no, it's not doing, it is down on power. What have you sent this back for? Why have you charged me money when it's still broken? And it will come back and you'll measure it and you'll be okay. And you say, well, where do we go from here? So the customer wouldn't have brought this in if he didn't think it was down on power. Okay? And he knows the amp more than me. So what could it be? What variables do we have that could be causing this to appear to him that it's down on power? Okay? Well, we're measuring at 8 ohms. Maybe one of the other outputs has got an issue. So we need to test it at 4 ohms and at 16 ohms, see if we can get the same output out of it. Maybe it's an issue with the input socket or the effects loop. We've seen that before. Or whatever it is. You know, there could be a number of things that's causing it. It could be the cable he's using between the head and his speaker cabinet. That's a possibility, right? There's all sorts of things it could be. Now, whilst I'm in here, I am going to put a correct screen resistor in. I don't like that. It just looks messy. I mean, the solder joint there looks terrible. That does not look good, right? We can do better. So whilst I've got the chassis out of the cabinet, we will fix that. But at the moment, it's running fine. So let's just, I think the best thing at the moment is to leave this running. We'll give it a good hour at rated output. See if anything changes. We've got 168 watts of consumption at the moment. At idle, it drops down to 69, we'll call that. 68. But at rated output, 166 watts. Cool, okay. I'll leave this running for a bit, see if anything changes. There's no harm in doing that. I'll try all the other outputs. Actually, let's check the boost. Oh no, that's not the boost, is it? Hold on. This is the boost control. So I'm turning it, it's not doing anything at the moment. Flick the switch to bring it in. There we go. So we've got boost as well. You can see the boost effects. It's pretty cool how that works. Take it out of circuit, back to rated output, 20 volts. Leave that running. And come back to it. But yeah, I definitely don't want to hand this back until I'm absolutely sure that there's no issues with it. I might even get a vibrator on the chassis. See if we can get this thing to play up. Maybe it's a vibration thing. Who knows? Just quickly pulling apart the mini Ampeg, the Micro VR. This is the one that's missing the 2 pots, treble and gain. God, that's complex inside, isn't it? I didn't realise, right, That's such high output. That's 200 watts into 4 or 150 watts into 8. That's great. Because it's so light, if this sounds good, I'm really tempted to pick one up for myself because I need a little portable bass thing, and you know, 200 watts for me is absolutely fine. So yeah, really interesting. But look inside this thing. This thing is complex. Look at that. That's crazy. Anyway, how are we going to get to the pots? Well, thankfully there is a separate board along the front. I'll zoom you in. There is a separate board along the front here, and it looks like it's just one, sorry you can't see that, one connector here and then one back here. Unplug those, undo everything along the front, and I should be able to hopefully maneuver the board out, because I need to find out what value the pots are, what taper the pots are, and measure the spacing so I can order the correct ones, because it's not always that simple. Right, all the bits and pieces off at the front, and there's absolutely no way I'm going to get that board out, so I'm going to have to loosen off the main board, and hopefully that will give me enough space. But it's a classic example of amps that are just not designed to be serviced, or not designed to be serviced quickly. Well, someone got a bit excited with the glue, because that screw is covered in it. I've got all the others out, and I've almost got enough movement in this thing now, but I need to get this one out. Make sure I'm not missing any more. No. Thankfully it's not rock hard. It's feels a bit like RTV, to be honest. Some of you have commented that there's an annoying background hum sometimes in the videos, and it's the workshop heater, an aircon unit. It is noisier when it's in heat mode than it is in aircon mode for some reason. I don't know why, but it just seems, it just has this low level hum that gets picked up by the microphone, and sorry, you just have to deal with it. I'm not spending time EQing out heater hum, at least not the type of heater hum I'm used to dealing with. Yeah, there we go, winner. Right, zoom you out. Okay. So we're going to have to disconnect these two. This is fast becoming, sorry, a bigger job than I was hoping it would be. Come on, behave, get out. There you go. That one's got a clip on it. Oh, I know, I'll quickly swap some pots this afternoon. Right, that one's going to have to come off. And the only other one I can see is the front. Oh, they're all soldered on the back, so these are going to have to go on. So remember this for me, guys. Yellow, blue, red, brown, going clockwise. Yellow, blue, red, brown. We won't forget that, will we? There it is. Right. Come off easy. Come on. Oh, they've got the bloody pins in them. So there are wires going to this switch on the back, which are soldered, but because of the goop on the board, I can't disconnect those. So I'm going to have to do it from the main side. Right, bear with me. Winner, winner, out we come, and there's the board. God, that took me probably. I've been on it for 25 minutes now. Here's the board. So let's have a look what we need then. R7 is A50K, and look, they're all D shaft as well. A50K and A50K. That's easy enough. We'll get 2 of those. Look like they're alphas. And on 10mm spacing. Is that a 5mm then? Yeah, it is, yeah. 10mm spacing. Easy enough. Right. I wonder if I've got some. I don't think so. They don't really stock the D shaft pots, but I certainly haven't got A50Ks. Got anything close? No. Actually, what are these? 5Ks. No, no luck. Have to get some on order. Is there anything else on this board? Looks like it's going to need doing. Look at the state of that contact there on that cliff jack. We'll clean that up. Switch looks okay. Rest of the pots turn okay. They don't feel gross. Okay, so that's that. We'll get some on order. Ainsley's here, back from tour. He's just popped in to help me select some speakers for this new untitled amp that I'm definitely not telling you about. We tried all the Celestions that they kindly sent to me. We ended up with one in there. Again, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but Ainsley's going to quickly give you a demo of what this thing sounds like. So when you're ready, young man.
Sounds amazing. Sounds really good. It's really good for like rhythmical kind of full and kind of warm, and all the sparkly detail stuff that you need, and all the good stuff.
Yeah, man. Awesome. So the speaker, won't say what it is, but why did it win out of the 5 that we were sent?
Okay, so we were looking for a speaker that has all that good stuff, but is not too loud sensitivity wise. So basically you can run the amp, you know, a decent enough volume so the amp's working, but it's not. A lot of speakers these days tend to have a high SPL sensitivity, which means, you know, a 3 dB jump is almost like double the volume. So we're looking for a speaker that tonally has all the good stuff that we're looking for, but has got a lower SPL.
Yeah,
And think we've found a really good one in this.
Yeah, I agree. So some of the other options kind of had this brash, lower treble to it, and they kind of a bit uninspiring.
Yeah, it's weird with because guitar it's all in the mid. I mean, the way I hear guitar in terms of when I'm trying to determine stuff I like and don't like, it's all in the mid range, and I guess it's looking for, it's like treble that doesn't hurt. You're looking for all the frequencies to be there, but not where you're rushing to turn down the treble or the mid control. And again, it's going to be different for every different guitar amp. Everyone hears sound in a slightly different way, but yeah, I guess some of the other speakers we tried, they've got like a sort of a brash kind of upper mid range, which obviously certainly on a Strat you're going to get a lot of it anyway. So it's having enough of it, but not too much.
Yeah, I agree. Tell me about the Strat.
Strat. Okay, so this is my.
I don't know if we've shown this one off before on the channel.
This is my '74 Strat. It's the first old Strat I ever bought. I went looking for a nice old Strat. I actually wanted a '60s one, but ended up with this.
It's got a bird's eye neck.
Yeah, it's.
Oh man.
Really quite rare. You see them now and then. Sometimes in the '60s you get them, and now and then in the '70s. But
so it's a factory neck.
Yeah, I mean, this guitar, it's all original, except it's got I had to replace the volume part, and I put a 5-way in. But yeah, it's all there, and it was the first good old Strat I found a few years ago. Like I say, mid '70s, '74, but it's not. I guess it goes against all of the stereotypical. You know, it's not heavy. I think it weighs about 7 pounds. 10 ounces or something. I did weigh it at some point.
Is it a 4-bolt neck or a 3-bolt?
No, it's a 3-bolt neck.
Oh, so it's all the bad bits and it sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, it's got original pickups, like I say, pots. One of the pots and the switch has been replaced, but refretted. But other than that, it's all there really, and it's just a really good sounding Strat. I mean,
and I guess that's a poly body as well.
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, it's all poly. Although I think the front of the headstocks were painted in nitro.
Right.
But it's all there, and it just
bullet truss rod.
Yeah, which I think is a great idea because it means you'd have to take the bloody neck off. I normally adjust the truss rod once or twice a year, depending on how cold it is or whatever. But I've got other Strats where you literally have to take the neck plate off. And but I think that's a great idea actually. And the neck doesn't move, and this guitar. Acoustically, it's loud, resonant. I mean, the whole thing like vibrates when you do that, and it just sounds. If you plug it into a good amp, it sounds really good. Well, it sounds good into any amp, really.
So, was this one just on tour with you?
No,
or did you take another one?
No, I didn't take this on the last tour, and I really missed it. So when I got back, the first thing I did is got it out from under the bed, and I've not used it for the last 9 or 10 months. I was just having a bit of a break, a couple of other ones I was trying, but I missed it, and it's the first time today I've actually plugged it into an amp, and it sounds amazing. So it's just got that kind of, you don't even have to dig in. It's almost like the engine. The guitar's got an engine or something.
Right, well, you better play us out then.
Okay.
Well, that's it then, guys. That's all we've got time for. As always, please give this video a thumbs up. All your comments and questions down below for next Wednesday's Q&A. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're nearly at 4,500 subscribers now, which is amazing. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever a new video comes out. If you're feeling super generous and you want to support the channel financially, you can do by joining like these guys have. And I will catch you all at the next one.